Steve, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, man, great to be here.
Good to see you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I love it.
You sound great. Sorry about the misunderstanding of the name.
It's okay. It happens. It happens. But it's just great to be here.
It is what it is. You know, I was hooked on phonics, as I tell everybody, when I was a kid. It didn't do much.
I'm hooked on scotch, so it doesn't. I'm with you.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. So you were born in East Harlem, right?
Born right on Pleasant Avenue in East Harlem, 4 blocks from Rayo's restaurant.
And how was? And yeah, Rayo's was open forever. How was it back then?
It was nice. I mean, everybody knew each other. All the people in the neighborhood grew up with my parents, and everybody knew everybody.
And it was still exclusive then, or it just got exclusive years later?
No, that was years later. No. My oldest brother had to go to high school. He was going to go in the Bronx. So my mother said, kids got to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get the train and the bus. And I said, it's time for us to move out of the neighborhood. So we went up to the Bronx in 1966 it was.
So what did you start singing? What gave you the bug? When you heard Frank Sinatra?
Well, I heard Sinatra when I first moved up to the Bronx. And that gave me the bug as a kid. But then I never thought that I could be a singer. I was a waiter in the Palm Restaurant for a while. I had an aluminum morning company in New Jersey. And then one day I turned 35 years old, which was actually 30 years ago. Jeez. I turned 35 years old, and I said, you know, if I never actually take lessons and try to sing, someday I'm going to be 80, and I'm going to kick myself that I didn't try. So I took lessons for 8 years, didn't tell anybody, not even my wife. And then one night I got up in a karaoke bar, and I didn't know it was a contest. I won first prize. Wow. And then a friend of mine introduced me to Joe Battaglia, who's a big band leader, and he had a 17-piece orchestra, and he heard me sing, and he hired me, and I made my professional debut at Tavern on the Green.
I heard about that.
With a 17-piece orchestra.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really incredible.
What year was that?
2002.
Oh, wow.
We used to do Wednesday nights out in the garden at night.
That's
Tavern
nice.
On the Green. Beautiful, yeah. And then they heard about me, and they needed somebody. They were doing a show at the Carnegie Club, which is a cigar bar, one of the few places in New York where you could still smoke cigars and cigarettes indoors legally like a person.
I'm not going there.
And they had an 11-piece band there, and they needed somebody to fill in for their regular singer, so they called me in, and I've been there ever since. November is going to be 20 years that I'm there, every Saturday.
Beautiful. Yeah, come on.
Longest running nightclub show in New York City. Same songs, same jokes, every Saturday night for the past 20 years.
That's the Carnegie Club?
That's the Carnegie Club.
Where is it again?
West 56th, right across from the back end of Carnegie Hall.
I remember Joe Franklin talking about that years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So talk about the Not Just Sinatra show. Talk about that.
Well, because I was at the Carnegie Club, and it's a cigar bar, a lot of people will come up to me and they say, you know, I want to bring my mother, my father, my aunt, my uncle, but they can't be around the smoke. Or because it's the same show all the time, they say, when are you going to sing things other than Sinatra? Or go in a place where we could have dinner. So I started a show at the Cutting Room. It started last June. We do it once a month. It's called Not Just Sinatra. Okay. We have a 12-piece orchestra with a conductor. When was the last time you were in a nightclub, small nightclub, and saw a conductor with the band?
No, not
you don't see that
long
anymore.
time. And when I was in Vegas a couple of years ago.
Yeah, got to be in those kind of deals. You got to go to Lincoln Center, but a small nightclub, you don't see that. So we got a 12-piece orchestra with a conductor. We got a comedian opening the show. You sit at a table like a person. It's just like the old Copa days.
I love
everybody's having a great time.
I love that old school stuff, like
it
the
really
old
is
Rat
nice.
Pack stuff.
And I get to do. I'm doing the Sinatra stuff. But it's not just Sinatra. So I do Dean Martin, I do Nat Cole. We did, last week I did Danny Boy, because it was St. Patrick's Day, so I did Danny Boy. We do Beatles. I did Elvis, Hard-Headed Woman. Somebody told me, you're going to sing Hard-Headed Woman, Elvis song? I did it. Everybody loved it. So we're having a lot of fun there.
Yeah, I love Elvis. Elvis used to do a lot of stuff like that, like at the...
well, Elvis did My Way.
What was that?
He made it a big hit all over again.
What was that thing that he did like the 2 weeks or a month? When he first came back in like 1970 or 71 in
Vegas.
The
thing with the leather suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was on television, yeah.
Richie Santa, what is that?
68 comeback.
There we go, 68 comeback.
Yeah, but what was it when they did that big box set? Was that 72 at the International Hotel? Right?
I don't know.
Wow, you don't know that.
He had a residency at the International for a while.
It's the International Hotel. I remember that. 1972, it was like a International Hotel. You were there? Wow. Piece of nostalgia.
Did you get a scarf?
Did you kiss him?
No, I went to his penthouse.
Oh, don't tell us anymore. We'll get thrown off the air.
Was he in there?
He was sleeping. He wouldn't rest because I was pregnant.
Did you kiss him?
Wasn't Elvis, right?
Now, tell me the first time you and Vinny Pastore have been friends for many years. When was the first time you met him? You have a nice story.
Vinny had a radio show I think it was in New Rochelle, and he had to take a little time off, and he had his friend, Louis Venaria, Louis Scoops.
Yeah, Louis Scoops.
And he was filling in, and Louis was a friend of mine.
Great guy.
He said, "You want to be on the radio?" So I said, "Yeah." So I went on and I did the radio show. A couple of months later, I was at an event on Mulberry Street, and I saw Vinny there. So I said, "I was on your show, but you weren't there." You know, Louis Scoops had me on. And he said, "I got a new show now, the Wise Guy Show on Sirius Radio." He said, "Come on."
So you're going back?
So I went on, I went on the radio show with him, and we became friends there. And then when I became a member of the Friars Club, we used to see each other all the time. And that's how we really became.
Well, I wish I was able to go to the Friars Club.
I love the
Friars
Friars
Club
Club.
no more, right?
It's closed now. They're still trying to see if we can get it back open again. You know, we're trying. But it was a great time. I love the Friars Club.
Oh,
It was a
yeah.
great place.
Everybody was there.
Great place. Made a lot of good friends there.
Yeah, Joe Franklin used to tell me a lot of good stories about that place.
Yeah.
He used to fall asleep. He goes, "Yeah, I used to go in there, order a Coke and fall asleep."
Yeah.
So, okay, now, you were talking that you met William DeMeo a long time ago, Once Upon a Time in Brooklyn, I gather?
We're making a movie, Once Upon a Time in Brooklyn, and I was in a scene with Willie and Tony Darrow.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, it's on, could I say my website?
Yeah.
StevenMaglio.com. There's an acting page, and the scene is up there. You can see it there. And I also did a scene with Chaz Palminteri in a picture called Once More with Feeling.
Yeah, Once More with Feelings.
I was supposed to be...
Andrea, right?
Huh? Andrea Di Matteo was in
Yeah.
there too, but I didn't do the scene with her. I did the scene with Chaz. I was supposed to be an MC in a karaoke club, and he was coming in, and I called him up to sing a song. It was supposed to be Benny King's, but we actually filmed it up in Mohegan Sun.
So you live in New Jersey now?
Live in New Jersey, Hazlitt, New Jersey. I've been there 39 years.
Wow.
But I still feel at home when I go back to Pleasant Avenue. That's when it's a crazy thing. I
You
moved
know,
out of there when I was 7 years old, but I still, when I'm there, I feel like I'm home. It's
When
amazing.
you go to Jersey's nice, it's very quiet, but there's nothing like getting back to the city. But then, you know what? You go back to Jersey, it's like kind of peaceful.
Well, you got to always find a place to park. That I like.
Yeah.
You always got a parking lot. There's always a place to park. But there's just something about the excitement of New York. That
Yeah, everybody's on the
can't get out
down
of
low
your
in
blood.
Jersey.
Yeah.
They mind their business.
Oh, yeah. When we first moved down there, we used to laugh. You get the local neighborhood paper, and it said, "Mr. Jones left his garbage pail out last night." And that makes the paper. Instead of Mr. Jones got shot in the head walking home, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a little different. But you can't get New York out of your blood. When people ask me, "Where do you live?" I tell them New Jersey. But if they say, "Where are you from?" I say New York.
Now, what about originals? You got any records out, recordings, or you always did
I have
covers?
3 CDs out. One is called Songs for Sinatra Lovers. Another one is called You Belong to Me and Other Songs Sinatra Never Recorded.
All right.
And the third one is called Sinatra and Bossa Nova, which is
Okay.
all the big Sinatra hits done in Latin style.
So it's all covers.
All covers. Wherever I go, I got to keep the Sinatra name in there because nobody's going to come to see Steven Maglio, like you say it.
Yeah.
They're going to come and see Sinatra. So you always have to have Sinatra's name in there so that they know what they're getting when they come.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, listen, just where's your what are your future shows coming up? Because that's your time.
No, we still got the Carnegie Club every Saturday night. And the Cutting Room is going to be April 17th. And then there's a whole bunch of Tuesdays coming up. It's going to be during the week. They're all on Tuesdays. So you go to the Facebook page. We got a dedicated Facebook page, not just Sinatra. And all the dates are there. Or you can go to StevenMaglio.com and everything is there too.
Yeah, and you got a lot of stuff. Once you get on his mailing list, you'll always get emails.
That's
and
it. You'll get him. He
playing.
gets them all the time.
Well, listen, it was a pleasure having you.
Thank
I
you,
hope
my
you
man.
come back next year.
I would love to.
All right,
Anytime.
everybody. Steven Maglio.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Steven Maglio at a theater near you.